Hello everyone, and welcome back to today's analysis. As now, for the 148th episode, we are going to discuss about Big Jack Horner, the main antagonist of the 2022 film Puss in Boots: The Last Wish, and overall one of the main antagonists of the Puss in Boots franchise and downright one of the most iconic and most realistic villains in animation made recently. Big Jack Horner, as opposite to the movie's message to cherish your life, is the perfect representation of greedy, narcissistic, and self-serving rich and powerful people. They often chase meaningless things that brings their own end. We're very akin to very real-life corporates and even politicians like Donald Trump. And in this episode, we're going to discuss all that we know about him throughout the movie to understand Jack and his journey from the little Jack Horner from the nursery rhyme to the big Jack Horner of the movie. And now, let's begin. Little Jack Horner sat in the corner. He ate a pie, and Mama said, "What good boy am I?" This is the nursery rhyme that the whole character is based on, as it was wrote in the mid 19th century by the same author who also wrote Pinocchio. But while Pinocchio became a worldwide icon, the Little Jack nursery rhyme has been largely forgotten and used as a political cartoon in the United States in both the late 19th century and in the early 20th century. And now the Little Jack Horner that he originally was in the film has explained to us his backstory. I mean, in the sense that he did have loving parents, stability, a manor, and a thriving banking goods pie for him to inherit. But sadly, he was not satisfied with any of this, as Jack suffered from a massive inferiority complex due to the fact that he is a normal human surrounded by magical beings, and also for the fact that he comes from a nursery rhyme while the other characters come from fairy tales. And especially given the fact that Jack has lost the competition towards Pinocchio when he was a kid. And after his parents passed away, he has taken over the baking pie company and changed his nickname from Little Jack into Big Jack Horner, and became pretty much a crime lord in his own right, as he came to collect various magical artifacts and magical entities for his own benefit. But this wasn't enough to fill the emptiness and the void inside him, and so he fought to find the wishing star in order to wish for all the magic in the world. He first hired Kitty Softpaws to do so until she turned on him. Then he hired the Serpent Sisters and they delivered him the map to find the wishing star. But in the process, he has now found himself racing for the star against Puss in Boots and his friends, as he wanted to wish for more lives to escape from death, as well as Goldilocks and the Three Bears, as she wanted to find her biological family. And so he assembled the baker's dozen and took all his magical artifacts in order to find the wishing star first. And he even and throughout this whole journey throughout the dark forest, either he got his own henchman killed by himself by accident or by the horrible things in the said forest. As well as the fact that along the way he has come to find the ethical bug among his magical things. You know, the same sentient bug that helped Pinocchio. And now, and throughout this journey, the ethical bug did try to officially find goodness in Jack and even try to steer him away from his evil and cruelty. And Jack surprisingly did keep the bug alongside with him, but only did so only to destroy his worldview. Hence now, before we continue, we need to stop and ask ourselves, is Jack evil? And I put this question because of the fact that while he seems to be an unredeemable monster, it could be noted that Jack could be considered somewhat of a tragic villain, in the sense that his whole motivation seems to stem from the fact of his inferiority and insecurity, for the fact that he's not a magical being. However, this is not an excuse for him to do all the horrible things he did throughout the movie. He has his own henchmen killed in all the worst and most awful ways possible. He has pretty much abused everybody. He pretty much has no problem even to shoot a dog in the face, and he has little to no morality whatsoever. Even he himself admitted that he doesn't really have a tragic backstory that justifies him. As Jack is evil because he enjoys being evil. He is evil because of the fact that he wants to be evil. Even he himself openly admitted the same thing, that he is an irredeemable monster. And even the ethical bug finally snapped and called Jack out for his behavior, only for Jack to be unashamed and flick the bug away. And thus realizing and thus Jack kept him only around only to destroy his worldview and get rid of him later on. And as the answer to the question is ultimately yes, Jack is evil, and unsurprisingly, he's pretty much pure evil to the core. Thankfully, his plans have officially fallen apart, as Puss in Boots and Goldilocks and their allies have all teamed up to stop Jack, and they managed to destroy the map and the wishing star with him on it, and thus killing him in the process and ending his insanity once and for all. So in the end, who was Big Jack Horner? He was nothing more but a simple man who only wanted more and more in life, no matter the cost. A man willing to sacrifice basically anybody if it suits him, and doesn't care for anyone and anything but himself. And a man that could easily be called as nothing short of a pure evil monster who has little to no redeeming qualities. And a monster that could easily be seen as one of the most iconic and most realistic villains in all animation. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to give a like and subscribe, and have a nice day.
Mother of goose, Jack!
Well, you know what they say. Can't bake a pie without losing a dozen men.
Oh, that was horrible! Your wish is horrible! You're an irredeemable monster!
Oh, what took you so long, idiot?